Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so your friends see it. Thank you.
Laura Ingraham just went off on illegals and stunned the press in this video going viral. Fox News host Laura Ingraham did more than speak her mind on Fox and Friends Tuesday. She showcased the feelings of many American citizens. With a captivating and impassioned rant, Ingraham detailed why the United States must begin enforcing immigration laws. It makes sense that Ingraham's full disclosure would be sparked by the footage of House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi recently being harassed by illegal immigrants. Pelosi expressed her frustrations about the interrupted press conference and Ingraham seemed to echo her concerns. "This is the problem with not enforcing the rule of law. If you don't enforce it across the board, you're going to create a generation of entitled people," she said. "This is entitlement mentality for a whole new generation of people." The Fox News host continued with why she feels many of the frustrated immigrants are approaching the situation poorly. Instead, why not start a dialogue with the people who can help? It's like biting the hand that feeds you. Or you give some an inch, they take a mile. An inch across the border, then it's a mile. Then we want rights. Then we want benefits. Then we want in-state tuition. Then we want free healthcare. Now we want grandma to come in, she said. But Ingraham's next point was inarguably patriotic. This is, in fact, a different country. The United States should be expected to have its own rules and regulations. They don't respect the borders of our country. They don't respect borders in a public address. There's not a great deal of gratitude for being able to stay in the country temporarily. Let alone a sense of what can we do to make it easier for you, Pelosi, to press our case, she said. In closing, Ingraham looked back to the Pelosi incident and explained why it not only hurt the case of those in attendance, but the entirety of America's immigrant population. That image is terrible for those who seek amnesty for millions and millions of people who are living here and oftentimes working here illegally. It's terrible for their message. I think Nancy Pelosi realized that. She was caught there. She couldn't get out. Regardless of anyone's stance on illegals, we can all agree something must be done. President Trump has worked tirelessly since the campaign trail to send a powerful message south of the border, and it's up to us and people like Laura Ingraham to stand up and speak our minds. Did you still believe in Trump's America? If so, share this amazing video with the world. Sources: dailycaller.com. Is this the worst political ad ever? This political song will make your ears bleed. It seems like we just finished the last election cycle, but 2018 is already heating up. You know what that means, more terrible political ads. This week, we got what the Daily Caller suggests might be the worst ever. The focus of the ad, Dan Helmer, is a Democrat running to replace Republican Congresswoman Barbara Comstock. In the commercial, Helmer accuses Comstock of running too far to the right, and he does it in song. He does it in song badly. The ad is so bad. It's almost good. It's like you can't look away for fear that you might miss it getting even worse. And considering the attention this video is getting, it might be doing its job. But that doesn't change the fact that it's still very, very uncomfortable. Do you think the commercial is so good it's bad? Or is it just bad? Comment and share so that everyone else can experience this odd political ad for themselves. Every single terrorist is pissed at the 3 words Trump just used at the UN. Donald Trump made his debut at the UN today and he did not disappoint. During a fiery speech, our president promised to put America first and to fight anyone who threatens that ideology. Most of the post-speech analysis focused on Trump's willingness to totally destroy North Korea, but they're not the only ones Trump called out by name. "We will stop radical Islamic terrorism," Trump also told the UN, "because we cannot allow it to tear up our nation and, indeed, the entire world." Trump hadn't used the term radical Islamic terrorism for months before the event, leaving many to assume Trump is giving up on his promise to name the enemy. But he brought it back in the most powerful way possible, on the world stage at the UN. His move follows two presidents who preferred to avoid the term altogether in order to adhere to political correctness. But Trump clearly means business and will not cave to terrorists or PC culture. Comment I support Trump. And share so the world sees Trump's true strength on terrorism. It's time we finally show that America is back on top. Trump just raised his hand at UN and said the one thing Obama didn't want him to. Uh-oh. Obama just got showed up big time. Trump just slammed the Iran deal and called it an embarrassment to the US. Check this out here. President Trump spoke to the United Nations for the very first time on Tuesday. President Trump, the Iran deal was one of the worst and most one-sided transactions the United States have ever implemented. Frankly, that deal is an embarrassment to the United States. President Trump called out the murderous Iran regime and put them on call immediately. President Donald Trump, its oil profits go to fund Hezbollah and other terrorists that kill innocent Muslims and attack their peaceful Arab and Israeli neighbors. We cannot let a murderous regime continue these destabilizing activities while building dangerous missiles. We cannot abide by an agreement that provides cover for a nuclear program. We need to get Trump's message out. The media is trying to attack him on it. Share this everywhere if you are so proud of the amazing speech that our president gave. Trump just freaked out the UN with what he threatened to annihilate North Korea with. Leaders from around the globe are now standing at attention at what President Donald J. Trump walked into the United Nations and shredded any sense of the false worldview that they have. You see what called Kim Jong-un. Rocket Man is on a suicide mission for himself, he said of Mr. Kim. You see what Trump just did there. President Trump threatened to totally destroy North Korea. He then said that Iran was a rogue nation. Our president specifically denounced North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un, and said that the nation threatens the entire world with unthinkable loss of life because of his nuclear ambitions. If the righteous many don't confront the wicked few, then evil will triumph, President Trump said. On a side note, I was recently reading the New York Times. I saw that they say Mr. Trump and not President Trump. What the hell is that? That's President Trump to you, New York Times. If this is not twisted enough, now North Korea's reckless pursuit of missiles and nuclear weapons threatens the entire world, Mr. Trump said. That's what's written on the New York Times. Very lame that they call him Mr. Trump. Our president just then went on to threaten North Korea's pursuit of missiles and said the following. If this is not twisted enough, now North Korea's reckless pursuit of missiles and nuclear weapons threatens the entire world, Mr. Trump said. Every single patriot needs to share this post right now if they are proud of Trump's amazing speech at the UN. The US is back and they need to take note, and we need to solve the problem of North Korea now. After Trump got off the stage, some guy got up and rambled about global warming. Right after his speech earlier, Netanyahu gave Trump the gift of a lifetime. President Trump crushed the speech to the United Nations today. Like totally crushed it. He appeared fearless in front of the international body. He slammed the terrorists of Hezbollah, he described the horror of socialism, the murderous Iranian regime, Obama's embarrassing Iranian nuclear deal, and North Korea's rocket man Kim Jong-un. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu gave the best description of Trump's speech. Israeli Prime Minister called Trump's address the bravest and best speech he's ever heard. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called Trump bold and courageous. Trump spoke the cold hard truth about the international body. What wonderful comments from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. I'm glad to see our great ally Israel openly backing Trump at the United Nations. Help share this everywhere if you love the president's speech today. The media and Facebook and Twitter and all those hate machines won't let people talk about how amazing it was. We finally have a president that stands up for us and demands fairness among all countries. We have footed the bill for too long. Checkmate the RNC just won big for Trump, but what they said after crushed the Dems. Many people have gone out of their way to use President Trump's history and business against him. Whether it be rivals, media, or other politicians, the idea that a deal maker could run the Oval Office has been far too scary to consider. Unfortunately for detractors, the evidence keeps rolling in that President Trump's choices have been fueling the RNC's momentum. In the month of August, the Republican National Committee raised nearly twice as much funding as the DNC. According to FEC filings, the RNC raised a whopping $7.3 million, while Democrats went home with only $3.8 million. In addition, this gives the RNC a total of $45.8 million cash on hand, while the DNC has a very concerning low of $6.8 million. It's hard to argue with numbers. The RNC appears to have simply implemented a more effective strategy. President Trump has always championed for this country to do reliable business, and even more importantly, stay out of debt. Which is exactly why the next news the DNC received was absolutely stunning. The RNC owes absolutely $0 in debt, while the DNC now owes nearly $3.5 million. The Republican Party continues to thrive because of steady support from the American people, RNC Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel said in a statement. We are thankful for individuals across the country who have expressed confidence in us to support President Trump and defend Republican majorities in Congress. All in all, this was a team effort. Supporters of President Trump know what it takes to make real change in this country. It takes effort. Let's share this amazing victory for all of our nation's hard-working voters. Sources: dailycaller.com. American airstrike destroys unsuspecting suicide bomber in must-watch video. One suicide car bomber in Iraq just got a devastating delivery from the United States of America. Unfortunately for him, he's in no condition to sign for the package. A video circulating online shows an American airstrike hitting an automobile carrying a bomb in Kirkuk, Iraq. The missile hit the first car bomb, which caused the explosion on the ground and pushed the second one up to the sky before it exploded as well, explained BBC reporter Friz Kolani. And the footage is spectacular. If the first explosion wasn't enough, the second one is oh, so satisfying. Not only is it great to see terrorists meet the only fate they deserve, this strike probably saved many innocent lives. This double explosion is a twofer any American can get behind. Share this video to humiliate this terrorist and all of his cohorts. Let them know what's coming to them if they decide to embrace terror under America's watch.